Welcome to the channel. I decided to make a separate channel. I sometimes would stream these live on my main channel. So I decided to make a separate one that just has out of the park baseball on it and to start a new series with it. So this series, as you can see, will be with the White Sox. And the goal for this video is, for all of them really, is to keep them under 10 minutes and to kind of have a focus of each one. So the main thing that I want to show you here are the settings that I'm going to be using, as well as potentially looking at the waiver wire, depending on the time frame. So I might not finish that entirely, but at least we'll get it started here. So we go to manager options. I'm going to change a couple things here and hopefully hold in this burp here for a second. So setting player development focus, I'm going to keep that the same. Managing development lab, I do something that I don't see other people do typically. I'll talk about that in a little bit, but I leave that as the assistant GM. And then signing international free agents, I leave that as the assistant GM just because I don't really like to do that itself. And then here we can leave minor league managers, free agent signings and releases, and promotions, demotions, all of this stuff. Minor league development, I actually want to set that for myself. So I want to take a more active role in that. That's something I've typically left as the minor league manager simulation, but I want to make sure that's something for myself. We'll configure this really quick. We usually do it for a week. We don't play the day's game. And probably uncheck that. We'll leave that there. So let's go to game settings, and I'll show you some of the different things. A lot of this was recommended if you look up settings for out of park baseball. There's a gentleman, and I forget his name, but he's the main channel that pops up if you YouTube this, and he talked about changing the batter aging speed as well as the development speed, whether it's down a little bit for the aging and up a little bit for the development. I like to actually, and I don't know if this really matters or not, but I think it's a good idea, or at least it seems logical to me, to have the maximum amount of development lab, because in real life you're going to have the most people in development lab that you could, or at least the most people training in the off season as you could. And I let the AI control that, so it's not something, and I haven't really ever found that it's overpowered in the sense that it's making my teams extremely developed or whatever, but it does allow them, the AI, to kind of control that and just train random people for the most part. The only part that I will control here is if I want people to learn a new position. I think that's really useful, and it's kind of nice to have specific rating changes. I kind of want to see that lab specific rating changes in the completion email. I never had that checked before, so that's something I'm going to try. But whatchamacallit, the reason that I want it at 20, like I said, is just let the AI control it, so it's not something that I'm overpowering with, but also to allow myself to change people's positions. That's the most common thing I use it for, or at least to allow them to learn a new position. And potentially I could take a more active role in that, but I find that you don't really have a lot of success in the training with that, so it's not something that changes a ton. The global settings, I think I went over that. So a lot of that I haven't changed too much. I don't have owner goals on. GM users, I never have that checked. And then all of these I kind of adjusted based on what that gentleman said to make things run a bit faster. For the trading, I actually have it here, and I have it to favor prospects. I actually like the trading kind of right in the middle, and I don't like using hard mode. We'll change that to none. But I kept these all the same of what he had recommended as well. And the reason I like to have the trading here is I find that it's not too unrealistic, or at least it does make it obviously easier. And then I don't see the point of having that on, because in real life, if you were trading with another person and you said, what would you need for this trade to work, I find that pretty normal and realistic. So it makes trading easier and faster, of course, but it also, I think, makes it somewhat realistic. So now that we've done all of that, let's look at the waiver wire for our team. So let's manage our roster. Okay. So we have these guys designated for assignment, so we're going to go ahead and throw them in the AAA. And then we have, it did this when I've done a Guardians one as well. It has like a random person, so we're just going to turn him into a coach. I don't know why he's still there, or why it even glitches to have it there. Someone on the Guardians is like 100 years old, which is hilarious. So I don't know if that's just like an Easter egg that they throw in, but it is quite funny with that. So I'm not going to use the AI to do anything with lineups or anything, because it doesn't matter at this point. And we're going to look at the waiver wire. And so here, what I like to do at the beginning, since there's a bunch of people that are on the waiver wire, is customize with a filter, go by age, and then find, or less than 24. Because really we have kind of, since the White Sox are so bad, they have the ability to claim all these people, and they have 2.5 star potential. Junkinsey Noel already has 2.5 stars overall, and the relief pitcher, potentially even a starter, and then Angel Martinez, and so like some solid pitchers and 2 good fielders as well. So we're going to claim all of these people. I don't really want to claim the other people just because it doesn't really, like, I suppose we could change the filter to having it above. Let's change it to like 26, because we're bad, and so we need people that are going to make us better. So we can just claim all these people, to be honest, as well, because we have a lot that we have to improve. So like he's 24. I don't know why he didn't show up before. I guess it had to be less than 24, so that's it's not less than or equal to. And then we have, so let's actually customize that. So less than is at least, I think that, oh no, I messed it up. So is less than, is greater than, is at most 26. Okay, so they just worded that kind of weird. And so we're honestly just going to claim a bunch of these players, because at worst, we don't, we just send them back to waiver wire or whatever. But our team is bad, so we need to get as many pieces to help our team develop. And like Joey Cantelo, the Guardians always let a bunch of these people kind of sit in waivers, which is kind of nice for us, because I know they're decent. I don't need any of these players because they're not really good. And so we're good with the waiver wire there. And a couple more minutes. We already configured this, so we'll just go past that. Most of my out of the park dynasty things I try to do is with the Guardians, and so that's usually the team that I use. But the White Sox are a fun one to use as well, since they're so bad. And so we'll move forward here. We got a score of 1. It's always hilarious with that. Let's go to the waiver wire, and then we can look at people with 3-star potential. So yeah, there's no one there. That's really interesting. No one that really changed. So we claimed everyone. It's all right. So we're good there. And the other thing, so we have about 2 minutes, and I'll start to do this, so probably won't have time to actually finish it. So let's go to the front office. We can go to player development as well, and go to the lab. It looks like, all right, AI already, sometimes the first time it doesn't take care of it for you. But let's go to the front office, and then I'll leave that there, personnel, and we just got to fire everyone. Everyone needs out. So it's good to double check to make sure, like, this guy's okay, but we're all bad, so we don't need him. And then, yeah, so it's like, you can kind of check the people, but if you're in a franchise like this, you kind of know, like, they're pretty bad. So it's easier just to get rid of everyone. I believe, yeah, I think so it's interesting, like, this guy's legendary with rehab, but then the prevention is pretty bad. So when I've used him before, I've actually kept him, but then I've realized that it's probably best just to get rid of him, because you want someone that's preventing the injuries more so than rehabbing them. And then Chris Getz, it doesn't really matter. I'm just going to get rid of him too. But yeah, so we have about 10 more seconds till I'm at that 10-minute mark. And so basically that's all I'm going to do. So in the next video, we'll go through and hire a bunch of people But off this video, I'm just going to go through and fire all these people and clean house in this franchise. But hopefully you made it this far, and I appreciate it if you would subscribe and like the video. I plan to make maybe a couple a week. We'll see. I know I'll probably make a couple today, but yeah, I figured this would be good to have a separate channel with this because it is something that I've been playing quite a bit. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this one. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.